You're watching Luntha TV, and it's time for our press review edition for today, Thursday, the 13th of February in the year 2025. It is yet another time where we take you through some of the stories that are appearing in our newspapers. And today with me, Tandi Wemzimara, and of course, I'm not alone in the studio. I'm here with my colleague,
Robert Edward.
Good morning, Robert. How are you?
I'm okay, and you?
I'm okay myself.
Great.
Sure.
You look fine indeed.
Thank you. We'll be taking you through the Daily Times and, of course, The Nation. You want to start?
Yes. SKC Foundation launched Mary Rules and Answered Questions. What could have been departed Vice President Cyrus Kraus-Silima's 52nd birthday was yesterday marked with posthumous. Oh, so it's the word from the post-thumbs launch of the foundation aimed at fulfilling his vision and legacy. The black tie launch event at Bingu International Convention Center in Longwe last evening was graced by a cross-section of people comprising President that's Chakwera First Lady Monica Chakwera, Vice President Michael Usi, Cabinet Ministers, business community, members of the diplomatic community, including United Nations Resident Coordinator Rebecca Adadonto, and friends and family of the Chirimas. Chirima, alongside 8 others, died in a military plane crash in Vipia Plantation on June 10, 2024, en route to funeral in Kada Bay. A commission of inquiry, a commission of inquiry of the president instituted, or that the president instituted, I think they have missed somewhere, that the president instituted has since ruled out foul play, attributing the accident to a bad weather. Yeah, so yesterday there was our launch.
Yes, and I think there were some things. I mean, I wasn't able to watch it.
Yes.
But of course, I followed updates online of how
I watched it.
Launched itself.
I watched it on NBC. We are following it. I listened to the speech. I wanted to hear a speech from Mary, actually, and then I listened to her speech. It was a great speech, full of emotions and courage and truth. Okay.
Okay.
I think she could not. You could see her wiping her tears when she was speaking, and she would gather herself with courage and deliver what she needed to deliver. But at the same time, she had to spill out the truth, as quoted in the Nation newspaper, to say she literally said, up to now,
she's still not convinced by the commission of inquiry report.
She still says there are still unanswered questions, and she went on to say that despite or even efforts, to try to bring these answers, they haven't been satisfactory. That's what she said. Okay, so she had to speak that, and I saw some truth in that. She had to speak that in the face of the president himself, who instituted that commission of inquiry. That look, whatever efforts you did, there's still unanswered questions, and so, but she was thankful as well for the president availing himself
as the guest of honor
at that launch, and of course. We'll discuss more about this. You know, we have UTM. I'm seeing that story in the Daily Times. System do not go. I think maybe when we reach that juncture, we'll be able to discuss more. But on the second page, there is Chakwera deliver Sona tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah.
His what could be his last Sona?
Yes, it's his last Sona in the first 5 years mandate.
Okay.
It's his last Sona.
But that could also mean something else, but yeah.
Oh,
that's
that
why I
could
said
mean
what could be.
No.
It is his last Sona, but could also be his last Sona.
Yeah, it could be his last Sona as the president. Oh yeah, I mean they are polls on 16th September in Malawi.
But it is also his last Sona in the 5 years of his presidency. In this case.
People are expecting a lot.
Oh, definitely.
Of course, people who follow politics know that it will just be a sauna to still keep people going. Like I'm still there. I'm going to try to do, or this government is trying to do what you guys want, and that means that they acknowledge that they are not doing what people want, or whatever they are doing, it's not enough. Yeah. So, but there is this. I think a sub-headline here is bated breath for Jagula's last sauna. So yeah, I think a lot of people, we are really expecting there'll be something big from the president. You know, Menana and Kudira, the first sauna.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
So we believe
and quite frankly, I feel like personally, what I would appreciate is more action than words this time around.
Yeah,
that's at least what I think. Also, most Malawians want.
Yes,
action. Not words.
Not words. And
because there are a lot of things that have been said over the years.
And actions on, I could say, relevant things.
Relevant things. Okay. We're talking food security.
Okay, yeah. So, you can be talking action, like you can be doing something on, or something which is secondary. Okay, but the primary things that people want, when you wake up in the morning, people want to hear. When I wake up in the morning and I'm going to a supermarket to buy bread, or I'm going to my grocery to buy bread, is there any hope that the price of bread is going to come down? Okay, or is there anything that would make my economic activities to be more profitable, so that when I go and even find bread at a higher price, that should not sting me? Okay, I should be able to afford. Because it's either of the two. Because sometimes we lie to ourselves thinking, "Good isn't no." But most of the times, I think, as far as I've lived in this country, even the issue of mafuta agari moto, kuyamba kwanga visitsa how to use mafuta agari moto. I think it was only once when mafuta natsika. I think that Peter Mutali, right? Another tsitsa mafuta from, I think, somewhere 1,900 something to 600 something, or 700 something. I think another sits, right? But from that time, mafuta agari moto akakwira makawira, and that Nimamkandia amagawa yesterday. Nimafusa, so he was going to Area 24 apparently to the studio to record. He's an artist as well. And then I was like, okay. So he was asking, good, how much is the transport from town to Area 24? So I was telling him. So I was like, so he was like, is that cheap? So I was like, people who stay in 24 think
they find it very expensive.
Very expensive.
But of course I understand
now, it's
why
because
he
him
finds it. It's because of where he stays.
He stays in the
other
that side
of town,
and I was asking him, from there to Figam town. So I was like, the normal is 2,000.
And you see that.
And I'm like, okay, 2,000. He was like, yeah, so what about someone who stays in 25? Oh, that's 2,500.
No, definitely.
So I was like, so it means someone must part ways 12,000 waja just for transport in a single day. That muntu akagwera ku depot what about 25? Amamuza uti ndi tukutera tu pakanengo. So
it's tough.
You needed to pay another money from Kanengo to Nsungwi. That's what he was expecting. So there are these kind of things that Amalaya Magmanazo head on. So even if you can speak a lot of things, but after you have said with these very few remarks, I thank you. A person who's listening to you, is he going to say anything? If nothing changes, you simply wasted your time. Or you just did your job, but you didn't do to meet the yardstick of people's expectations.
At this point, he is supposed to meet people's expectations. Front page of the Daily Times, there's of course the SKC Foundation launch, but there's another one that says UTM shuns launch of SKC Foundation. UTM officials yesterday boycotted the launch of the SKC Foundation, which was held in Lilongwe. The officials made the announcement during a press briefing presided over by the party's president, Dalito Kabambe. This stance was later confirmed by the party's absence at the event, which was attended by several dignitaries. And according to Kabambe, their party opted not to attend the launch of the foundation following a decision made earlier in the day, was due to what he called the continued absence of answers regarding the death of UTM founder Shirima. What do you think about the decision to? If I was not on air,
I think I could have used some big word.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this case, are you in agreement or not in agreement?
I'm in disagreement. That is a total childishness, and it just shows that I think politicians, they have got a demon of letting failure to define their, or to show how incompetent they are.
Okay.
Okay? Tell me, with this kind of thinking, this man, this Darisogambambe man, you think now, okay, can you make this person a president? Like, the way he has analyzed the situation, because I believe there must be a thought, an analysis of the situation, and concluding that my best take on this one.
And it was not just him. I'm assuming they sat down and they talked about it. It's
the whole party.
And they decided to come
I understand.
to a press briefing to hold.
I personally saw. I've seen pictures of some people, UTM members. They still went there. Some women, okay, they still went there. Look, I think there is one thing that I understand now. I think there are some people in this country who don't know that Chakwera is the president of the Republic of Malawi. I think there are some people who don't know. And some of the people who do not have this idea, like Nagabambe and Azinzao, I think, in short, some of the people could him. Because if you understand that Chakwera is the president, now let me tell you the truth. President of the Republic of Malawi is Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. Full stop, final. And there are, by the virtue of him being the president, there are things that if you want to make a statement, he must be involved or he must not be involved. Okay? For example, him being a president said, and Musamani Vinile pa Ujen, pa airport in the Gamapita Yanyan. This guy is the president of the parent, is the president of the country. The people are where Aboraja, Apanga enforce the president, not because he is the president of Japan. They will enforce because you understand? He is the highest authority. So, you cannot expect Mary Chilima not to invite the president to the launch of a foundation aimed at keeping a legacy of Chilima.
And who is also the former vice president of Malawi.
Can you really? Okay, if that can happen, okay, fine and good. But Kumuitana, I think, was the best because, timaona akamabanga fundraising. Akamata tubanga fundraising ngolo kuchali chikumene ama yangana kuli chali chimunomo. Wankulu ntumba ndani. Not in Tumbamoka. How do people respect it? How does the society respect the person? They will invite the MP. MP just they will invite the shadow MP. But their main target in the current MP.
I think in simple terms, to put this quite plainly, the SKC Foundation launch, it was not, and it is not a political event.
And the
problem that comes in is that Kabambe and the other UTM officials that decided to not attend, they politicized the event.
Okay, okay. Look at their argument. We cannot be dining on the same table with a person who is supposed to bring the answers. And now you hear Mary Chilima in the speech.
She said she's not fulfilled, but still she invited people.
And her speech is even saying, Kuti, my husband, mene nima muzvira ineyo. Simon told, Bwezi, olomu penimo, mota kuva penimo, he would still learn to dance in the rains. Okay? Like, she was trying to send a message to say, even if you can say that, I am crying for Chilima. Chilima mwinoage, bweza akumarira, ukukwa kujitabe. You understand? But you cannot say, because to kumulira Chilimayo.
Deputy Jose Chimegai or some people should not be allowed to do.
Then you should not claim to be upholding the SKC legacy, because the SKC legacy that I think everyone would expect is Chirimana Limutwazi Windi. Or Muzazora Amwene, ni the current president, Smugrizan. He would still be in government.
Exactly.
No, though, as we talk about Guvira Gofeso Sampata and Chilo Kumamatanibe, Amakarabe, that's the kind of person that we are talking about. And we are saying we want to uphold his legacy. Now there is a foundation that wants to uphold his legacy. And you are the president who succeeded him. That he founded. And you have succeeded him because of death. Not because munakapikisana ndi analuza, but munatenga mpando chifukwa cha ntumbira timatero kwatu kuti munatenga mpando chifukwa cha ntumbira. Munatenga mpando chifukwa cha ntumbira de mwini wake wa ntumbira zinthu zimene ankafuna kuti zichitika masomphenya ake akukhazikitsa de musapite just because mukuganiza kuti amene mwina adachita kuti ntumbira ukhale ali kumeneko. I don't think that was I've already said
simply immature.
Yeah, I think this is the immaturity
at its best.
At its best. I expected something. Being a media person, I expected that if these guys were going to be Kuronchikuja, people could have started pointing fingers at the Chakwera, the Usis, akana kaura wabanga ridicule chani. You know what happened? The story changed. The fact that these people were not there, it started, if you check the social media, okay, at least prior to the event, the story changed. The people started now pointing fingers at UTM. And people were able to say, you were able to sit down with them. But you shake the hands. That was okay. Now, but because this person has gone, even just being invited, is easy. You just be divided. Now this one is more devil than the way he was 15 January.
It's sad. But you know what? I feel like we've overstayed our welcome in terms of this story.
And let me say my last words. These UTM people must know their place now.
Okay.
And if they had anything at all, that they vote, they should know
okay.
With what happened yesterday.
Okay.
Okay.
63% of Malawians reject AIP abolition. A recent Afrobarometer survey has revealed that 63% of Malawians are against abolishing the Affordable Inputs Program, AIP. The findings of the survey, which was conducted by a team led by the Center for Social Research, were released on Tuesday night. Rather than abolishing the input subsidies, the survey revealed that 89% of Malawians support the idea of providing input loans through farmers' clubs, and 78% endorse giving poor farmers cash to allow them to buy inputs themselves.
Look, I think all this is good. I think after Barometer, I think that's how I'm saying. Look, anthu amene amayankhula zoti AIP ingotha kuzaone. You should look at
they're mostly politically affiliated.
It's either they are politicians or ali ndi kuthekerayo oti AIP ijaitata kuliyatha kulibe. And there is no anything, they can still go and buy fertilizer at 200 or 150,000. So long as right there, but they can make efforts and that can happen. Okay? Or someone is simply disgruntled. You understand? But the truth of the matter is, AIP, the best thing that can be done is to be managed well. I think it is men and hammer.
Because I think the question comes in to say, before AIP, what did you have that was better?
Yes. So AIP, we had automatic FICID. Okay. FICID. That it was a program that was.
It's literally AIP just.
Yes. At least these guys, they were managing the program to the beta. Okay. AIP, makosa nawo achina chakwerawo anadza malomongo bwera iwo kumapanga zoyenererazo anayinenelera kwambiri manivesesa anayinenelera kwambiri nde anthu adayiona kuyera. Now people's hopes and expectations were raised, okay? Komano yo anabizoti they are falling short to meet. Ndi anachita ziwezo first year. Now you know this thing of first impression matters. Bas. From that first year, ati network, ati jani zambiri mpaka na zinatani zidavuta mpaka panopo. Komano sukuti anthu chinthu chisama chifuna.
No.
Anthu amachifuna. Koma how that is managed is the problem. So it still goes back to government. The program itself ndi abwino. Okay? Komano zimene anthu amaibanga ano program azifi kulibe boma, azifi kulibe nduna ya agriculture. Nduna ya agriculture actually matha kubwera ndokumauza watu wankana you know mavuto ake akumatere ma transport iwe nde ukutani ipo pamene popo. That's your job to make sure that you don't give people explanations. You just give people the answers. When you know what? Chakajata nakumana ndi program ya ndi nkhani ya distribution chifukwa cha ma transport. This year ma transport achakulibe. The other year tinakumana ndi network. Network ingativuta. So takonzaso zimene zija. That's what Malawians want. Koma bantu zibwera mukuziwa but so vutola kuti it means you're failing. Management is the problem. So I think Afrobarometer should commend it. These people who make decisions, they should follow that. And how much ifuna ndi abwino bwino and how much ifuna izichitika ndipo kumudzi kuchi. If you go umuzi even mali mamwansundwe. If you go and you see people how they struggle to get fertilizer, they really need AIP. Now, if you go deep in very rural areas, you'll find people really need this.
They do. And okay? It's being managed well. Yes, it makes sense.
Yes, a lot.
Implementation is zero. So I think if implementation was matching what exactly is on the paper or what is supposed to be on the ground, it would have been perfection. Should we go to business?
Yeah, business. Let's go to business.
I will take one here. Malawi to produce 180 million kilograms of tobacco. That is the headlines. Part of the story reads that Malawi is expected to produce over 180 million kilograms of tobacco this year. First round crop estimates show. The projected output marks a significant increase from last year's total volumes of 133 million kilograms. Okay.
Yeah, that's our green gold.
Yeah, I mean, it's a positive development for both growers and the economy.
I'm happy I've heard something very positive about tobacco from WHO.
Okay.
Someone was briefing me, and I did a press conference at WHO. Yeah, amagamba za tobacco.
Tobacco treaty.
Yeah, could should be treating well. I think the notion has changed. Car is not just one good tobacco. Do you see? I don't know that how much. Imagine very good and forex. Then tobacco to see it in very Ujeni. Imagine WHO. Are those people going to give us forex? Because this is the only place where we breathe as a country. Tikagwiza foja uja tima puma apu ka forex kataniko kalo. So I'm happy that the WHO now it's really coming out that positive. Yes, akulu we need to make sure that our health is prioritized because kubanda ujeni umoya bwino ufoja society ngalini, but that does not mean kufoja asiye kutani ko as simple as that. So climate finance erodes Malawi economies forces to cut spending on public services. Malawi alongside other 53 low and middle income countries are trapped in a debt crisis, a situation Action Aid says has forced the economies to cut spending on basic public services and climate action.
Okay. Should we move on to international?
Yes.
Uganda's Besigye on hunger strike, that is according to the wife. A prominent opposition figure in Uganda who is on trial in a military tribunal has begun a hunger strike, his wife said, 2 weeks after the country's top court banned courts-martial from trying civilians. President Yoweri Museveni said his government would continue to prosecute civilians in military courts despite the Supreme Court's ruling. So he's Besigye is an opposition leader in Uganda, and he was arrested in Kenya.
Yes.
I think in November. So he's been in cell for about 3 months now.
Yes.
So amid the prolonged, I would say detention, he's now decided to say, you know what, I'm going to go on a hunger strike. So the wife was on X, previously Twitter, writing about it. Komano, and when I go prison, they are saying it's not true, that he's okay, that there is no hunger strike going on.
Well, I can really imagine what's going on there. The prison inspector or the chief there works for government.
Of course.
You really wouldn't.
He wouldn't be like, oh yeah, he really hasn't eaten for a week.
Yeah, I don't think he would tell a reporter that.
No, definitely not.
So
he said it was a lie. He literally said it's a lie. He's okay.
He's okay. He's actually.
He's fine. So it's a thing of saying, as a reporter, who do you believe, the wife or? I mean, it's kind of obvious. Yeah.
So I think we should go to arts and culture. There is Valentine's Day free in the grip creative industry, and filmmaker Joyce Chavura to release The Gunless Soldier. I saw this somewhere. Award-winning filmmaker Joyce Muhango Chavura is set to release her latest movie, The Gunless Soldier, with a premiere scheduled for March 28 at Golden Peacock Hotel in Lilongwe. Wow.
It seems like an interesting movie because, I'm seeing a picture of it, I'm assuming the cover of it, of how it's going to look.
The poster,
The poster, yes. I think the best way is poster. Okay, so the reason why I'm saying this could be interesting is who I assume is one of the main actors, Ashokire Mwankisulu. I've seen some of his work and I'm impressed. I've been impressed for over the years. I've watched him in The Last Fishing Boat and other movies as well, and he's really good. I would like to believe that this should be interesting. And I also have to commend, I think, the creative sector in terms of movies. I feel like over Kwambita 2023, I feel like we've seen movies, we've seen series, short series on YouTube, and it's really interesting to see that as Malawi, we are actually finally deciding to actually take this a top notch and not just targeting the Malawi market, but also internationally.
The only problem in my own Abanova, it's not really about the producers or the actors.
Okay.
I think we have got the cream. I think the problem we have is the acceptance now.
Okay.
I want to wafanda kwandino amalawi anzanga. Mwabamona muntu bajinkoso ijage wava zitungati zako Nigeria waitonyamula kandodo. Njifaja film. It's actually a movie.
Okay.
A movie industry in Nigeria, they started loving chintu chao kaya. So anako Nigeria anayembo kuwakonda mafilimu wao wanchi. Okay, so they started popularizing them,
and it's actually also their culture.
Okay,
for them, it's they don't just do it for movies. That's how they dress.
You understand? So they showed us how they dress through the movies. Okay, so they use the movies. Mafilimu aje so nambo zizoro kuli amavala chonje. Now chifuacho makonda mwina makarita za movies aje na ambaso beze kazori feso timatani. So I just wanted kuti amala investigate kuti what is the impact imene makala ya the movies to the whole world. You understand?
Even sometimes
if we are one of the people who were impacted.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And we used to think it's justice into Zazu was made that has impacted us. Even the African culture and Nigeria has really made a very big impact, especially for my weddings, including traditional weddings. And sometimes what exactly is our dressing as Malawians? Our cultural dressing, you know? Because even in national way.
National way.
Is it that it's in movies in Nigeria?
Yes.
Because we have always known they call it Ankara.
Yes.
In fact, you understand?
So this is what I think as a country, as a people, we can start now to love into that. Okay. Feeling where to ikatuluka, it should be. I think it resonates well. Okay. Another thing is, when I know my producers, you know, I listened to, I interviewed this other guy, Mike Ozolonye something.
Mike Ozolonye, yes.
I was working for a certain television back in 2018. He came and I interviewed him, and he said, you know what? If you don't tell your story, okay, the story about your culture, the kind of food you guys eat, if you don't do that, someone is going to do it for you, and you will realize too late that so we were actually playing around with God here. Zinthu zaifeyo mangerengere ajawa amene timavinira how our society takes serious zinthu ngati maliro, you understand? You know,
I think it's really, you're right. I think it's important to even in my movie also tizipanga resonate wa kuika mo zinthu zimene apart from Malawi amene akwenera kuti chinthu chichashira ndina
yes.
Malawi akamaonera ine ndikamaonera film ya Malawi, I should really relate to say this definitely happens in Malawi.
There's something about mothers,
despite the fact that Africa ndi wankulu mu countries osiyana koma each countries there are unique things that happens. Zimene zimachitika kuno inde timanena kuti Zambia and Malawi and timanena kuti we are like one country koma ndikhoza kusana kuti pali ma culture differences amene alipo ochuluka between us and Zambia despite similarities amene
if you look closely, I give an example of, you know, moms in Malawi. You know, moms in Malawi would just look at you. You understand?
And you know
what to do. You know that kind of communication.
wabudula mpunga wagulu
aliyese padopa amene ali kutaoni ora anakhala kumwena kumuzolo omwe anakhala mtaoni momwe koma you know kuti there's a certain akangokuyang'ana osakuyankhula
olo kukumenya ayi and masiku ano there is this thing of saying ola mai mwana musamenye ayi there's human rights. In true sense of culture ya Malawi, we have never really known what human rights is.
Exactly.
We used to believe kunena kuti mwana aongoke ngati mtengo.
Mkwabuleni. Ndipo.
And and anthu ndi timaongoka. Siti mabanga zinthu zongoti basi.
If we describe immorality without the arguments. You know, I know people argue just to argue. And there are people who knows kuti komari ine pachilungamo. I was spoiled.
Oh, definitely.
Now, they would want to normalize something which is wrong. But if we can tell the truth, a spade is spade. At home, I was uyu anamulera pachilolo
yes
uyu I think was raised with manners. The dressing many munthu amapangira dress how amapangira respond to things okay, those kind of things
majority and kunena chilungamo. Okay, I just want to say here kunena kuti despite the fact that we're talking about discipline, there are certain we've heard a lot of cases of discipline ya makolo sana me kumakali ya masiku ano imene is definitely abuse. So let's just put it out there. We are not
trying to say you should be
discipline izifika kwa manena kuti mpaka
kumangirira kuntengo ndikumuwe ndozanisa basi. No, I don't. I think
literally this week, a 42-year-old woman has killed her 16-year-old son over misplacement of her cell phone.
Yes.
The mother was suspecting the son would wabanga misplace mwana. Kumenya ndishukuni mutu mpaka. So that we are definitely not condone. We are definitely not in agreement with that one. But then there's discipline that starts from a very young age.
And I'll give you an example of the moms. They would tell you kuda kukulanga uri suja nsima. Okay? Koma sa mapungula makapu amaja mina matira nsima.
Kamaika be the same level.
There was still that attachment, you know what I mean? And eventually a go would be the one kukakubisira chakuja and you eat. And your mom in the morning would know kuti unaja nditu and agogo ako anakupasa ambu yako anakupasa. So there is that love. Outside that ndizimene timaona komano timaita kudziwa but isn't even lifestyle. Their lifestyle was what timaita this is a lifestyle as a product of many munthu amukuzira amukulira pachilolo period. One lifestyle yoti aonera ku social media zimachira kuonera tizimaita kudziwika. So you understand. So as a film industry, if they can be putting in these things, if they put people akuja pa restaurant with the fork and whatever people are going to say outside there, they already know. pamene baja
and hakufuna chisamba.
Yes, things like that.
Things like that.
It can really gule wankulu. It can really go a long way. Yeah, komano kuti lizibanga za.
And you know, it's actually one way of attracting tourists.
Yes, it's good. And nanakala tivuro yamba amalawi chonde chinthu choti ndicha ku Malawi kono. Can we love it? Can we start? Okay. Or kuchikonda chinthucho. But let's just, if you know by liking or watching or sharing the movie on the YouTube is going to assist. Just do that. You learn how to love it. You understand? So I think we should do that. Pasua issue sorted. Minister Fort's farm on process. Orders due be sealed by Friday. Coach unveiled.
I think it's the same issue here.
Yeah.
He's the apparently chosen one. Farm needs 250 million kwacha for Scorchers trip. Football Association Malawi Farm needs 250 million Malawi kwacha for Malawi women's national football team. The Scorchers trip to Zambia for 2 friendly matches against the Copa Queens next week. The 2 friendlies are scheduled for February 20th and 23rd in Lusaka, Zambia. I
like the ministry okay. Because we need to make progress. We need to move. I know these were just spanners, but to want to attack to Minnesota udindo wabaso andoli timaufuna. But anyway. I mean, don't waste our time, and the ministry has done well. Can you house coaches 250 million ibizigi? Yeah. Ibezeke drama. I think nkani ndikabasala sompata ma obwiraso mina dizagamba. Koma drama itan ibezeke. I mean kamukatenga drama zokati mukazitotsa ku flames ndikuwapatsa koma drama ibezeke.
Sabudule punga gulondayo time.
Yeah, because
but I understand what you mean, because I said here kunena kuti
yes.
Mene timaipangira treat Scorchers and flames. Kulingati kuti ku flames timakhanga titi ku zomwe zitakaledwe kana kumulera mwana bachilolo. Flames ngati mwana mulera mwana nene performance ku school si bwino.
It's because of the fact that there is understanding, the football
is more important.
Yeah.
Yazibambo
imagondedwa kwambiri, okay, than football yazima, and that goes to native. But that's true.
It is.
No, in our context as Malawi, it's upside down. Kunogo imeneva ndipindulira as far as national pride is concerned. Ndiyazimayo ndikulizingo banga
zimene ndunena kuti let's treat them ngati ana onena kuti tapiti sause ku school wina uchita bwino wina sakuchita bwino. Let us not congratulate, let us not award amene sakuchita bwino amene wina amene uchita bwino
just because in the
wankazi. Let us not do that.
Ali kwa wankazi komandi wako unabereka weka.
Friends, this is a big defense. Okay. Anyways, let's go.
Yeah, you've been with me, Robert Edward, and my colleague
Tandy Wimzumara. Continue following the rest of our programs right here on Luntha TV. Have a blessed day.
Mtsogoleri wa mpingo wa Katolika pa dziko lonse Papa Francisco anakhazikitsa chaka cha 2025 kukhala chaka cha jubilii ya chiyembekezo. Ichi ndi chaka chimene akhristu akulimbikitsidwa kukhala ndi chiyembekezo cha zabwino mkatikati mwa zovuta zomwe akudutsamo, kukhala okhululukira ena ndi kuyanjana nawo, komanso